On the 1st of January, 2023, India's gross domestic product crossed $4 trillion. It's a massive achievement. But let me show you this picture. This is India's GDP growth. Look at the rising line. Now look at this picture. A crowded street market in India. What do you see? The contrast is stark, isn't it? A thriving economy, and yet no significant improvement in the everyday lives of Indians. So here's the question for you. If India's economy is growing so fast, why doesn't it feel like it? Why does India still not feel developed? Hello, and welcome to this segment. Let me show you some more pictures. These are India's tallest buildings, the iconic CST station and Bandra Worli Sea Link in Mumbai. And these are some of the tallest buildings in the world, the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore and the One World Trade Center in New York. Again, the contrast is stark. India's tallest building is barely 500 meters tall. The tallest in New York and Singapore are close to 500 meters. So India's skyline is dwarfed by global standards. Why is that? Because 1, GDP is total wealth and not individual wealth. India's GDP is around $4 trillion. But India has 1.4 billion people. If you divide the total wealth by the number of people, you get $2,500. This is what an average Indian has. This is called GDP per capita. If you compare this figure with other countries, they have a much higher GDP per capita, which means more money in the hands of an average citizen. So, for instance, if you look at Singapore, their GDP is around $400 billion and their GDP per capita is almost $70,000. You can see the difference. But let me show you some more pictures. This is Asia's largest slum. It's in Mumbai. Right next to it are some of the most expensive homes in the city. This is Asia's richest neighborhood. It's also in Mumbai. This is another picture from Mumbai. Children studying under streetlights because they don't have access to quality education. This is the story of millions of Indians. They don't have access to quality healthcare, proper roads, clean water, sanitation. They don't even have access to electricity. Which brings me to the second point. India's growth story is uneven. Some parts of India look very developed, and some parts are far behind. We have world-class metro rail systems in cities like Bangalore and Mumbai. But in rural India, people still travel on broken roads. There are villages in India without access to primary healthcare, villages without schools. So what does development mean? Development means better access to services. It means that the average citizen should have access to quality healthcare, quality education, quality infrastructure, and this applies to all citizens, not just the top 10%. And this is where India lags. Now, we are not saying that there is no progress. There is plenty of it. Today, India is developing fast. It has the world's largest high-speed rail project. India is building a digital public infrastructure. More and more people are using digital payments. India is home to world-class startups solving real problems. But development is a long process. Just look at China. It took them 40 years to reach where they are today. India's journey will be longer because India is diverse. It's not just culturally and geographically, but also demographically and politically. So it's harder to achieve uniform progress. And finally, let me come back to the definition of development. It's not just about money. It's about education, healthcare, rule of law, and clean governance. And these are important indicators of human development. So let me show you some data. Only 68% of Indians are literate. In Pakistan, the literacy rate is 62%. In Bangladesh, it's 75%. Then we have child malnutrition. In India, 37% children are stunted. In Sri Lanka, it's 14%. In Finland, it's 2%. When it comes to healthcare, India's performance is better, but there's still a long way to go. India has made remarkable progress in reducing poverty. But compared to other countries at a similar level of economic development, India's performance is not impressive. So these are some of the challenges that India faces today. But here's the thing. No country is fully developed. Every country is at a different stage of development. Even the richest countries in the world have serious issues. The question is, are they willing to acknowledge and solve those problems? So the fact is, India still has a long way to go. But don't underestimate India's rise. This is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. This story is just getting started. What do you think? Do let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, Do share it with your friends. We'll be back soon.